Hey everyone, hey developers, welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. So if this is your first time here, you can kindly click on the subscribe button and enjoy the tutorial we've been bringing up here. This is another beautiful tutorial. Today we are going to take our React.js website to the next level. I will be showing you all how to deploy your sites on Vercel and integrate Firebase step by step. Whether you are launching your first project or looking for an easy way to connect Firebase, this tutorial has got you covered. In this tutorial, we'll be creating a React project and we'll be launching it or hosting it on Vercel. Vercel is an application where you host your React.js website. They also do more than that, so you can go to vercel.com to find out more about their services. So now let's go right into our tutorial. So the first thing we're going to need here is our VS Code, which is a popular IDE for developers. It is an environment where developers code and run their code. So now we're going to need our React.js folder that contains the asset of our website, which is the template and the HTML and the CSS and everything about our website. So I have my own folder here. As you can see, I have my folder here. So this is the folder I'm going to deploy on Vercel. It has the admin module, the source, and the public, and different things that you expect in a folder that contains an React.js website. So this is where I'm getting my folder from. So if you are kind of people on this YouTube channel that has gotten this beautiful dating web app React.js, you should click on this content and download the React.js website folder. So this tutorial will allow you to do something like this. It will allow you to launch or host your React website, and it will be available online. So your users will be able to search for your React.js website. So this is the React.js website that I have launched on Vercel, and it is available online. So let me show you. Let me type the name of the React website. So if users search for my React website online, it's going to bring this website, going to bring it to them on the Google search engine because it has been hosted by Vercel. So they will be able to find your website online. Next thing we're going to do now is to move into uploading the VS on the folder inside our VS Code. So this is my folder here. I will open my file manager and my VS Code side by side so that I'll be able to click on this folder and drag and drop it inside my VS Code. So the next thing I will need to do now is to click on my new terminal, and I will click here to view my folder. So these are the information in my folder right now. So let me run my React website using the npm run dev that was provided by Vits. So now our project has started and is on our local host here, 5173. As you can see, this is also the real website, and this is also the folder for the website. So this is our website here. Okay, so it is desktop responsive, and it is also mobile responsive. So I will leave a link in the description below to get the contents, the folder of this website. I will leave a link to get it, so you'll be able to run it this way. So now that we have our app, our website running on VS Code using our terminal, So the next thing we want to do now, we want to deploy it to the internet using Vercel. So the next thing we're going to do is to go back to the terminal and open another new terminal. So the first thing we need to do is to install Vercel. So it's npx is install Vercel. So we need to install Vercel into our website. So let us use npm install Vercel. So now we are installing our Vercel. So the next thing now is to go to our Google console. So we need to go to our Google console to create our Firebase project. So now let's go to our Firebase console. So we just type firebase.google.com and you go to firebase.google.com. So now let me move to my console. So in my console here, you can see I have different projects created here. So the next thing I need to do is to create a new project. So I will give my project a name. So Ade Oil. So you should give it a name. So I think I have reached the project limits for my accounts here. So the next thing I will do is I will select an existing project here. So once you create a new project, you give it a name and you create an app. So it's going to direct you to somewhere like this interface here. So this is where you're going to get your project's Firebase configuration. So once you are done with your project, you've named it, you've got to this kind of interface, you will scroll down and copy this Firebase config. So once you copy this Firebase config, the next thing you're going to do is we are done installing Vercel. So the next thing we need to do is go to our source. In our source, we're going to find the Firebase project file, and we're going to replace it. Going to take out this Firebase config and place the Firebase config we copied from our Firebase console. We're going to paste it here. So once we are done with that, we are done with Google integration. So now we are finally integrate our Firebase backend with our React.js website. So the next thing we need to do now is to use the command Vercel. So let's check if Vercel exists in our code. So now we said no, command not found Vercel. So we're going to be using npx to call it then. So we say npx Vercel. As you can see, this is going to work. So now before I set it up here, we need to go to Vercel.com. So you just click on search for Vercel.com. They are the platform that we'll be using to host our React.js website, so that it will be available for people to search for it online and access it online. So now you don't need to do anything much here. If you don't have accounts with Vercel, try and get a new account with them, so because we'll be using them to host our React.js website. So the next thing we need to do now is to I already have an account with them and I already have a project with them. So I'm going to select this time project. So now I will click on yes. You set up and deploy my folder. Yes. Y for yes. So they ask me, is it the time project? Is it the time project? I will enter. I'll use the enter key. So link to existing project, I will say no. N for no. So what's the name of the project? So if you want to rename your project, if you want it to be datasite.vercel.app or Ikorodu Gumroad, anything you want to name it, you can put that here. But in my own case, I will let it to be Ikorodu Gumroad here.vercel.app. So now I'm going to use the enter key. So the next thing, I'm going to use the enter key. So yeah, you need to say no, N for no. So now our project is being deployed. As you can see, Vercel is already interacting with our project, and they are trying to send our project to their Vercel so it can be available online and build it for us automatically. So that's what's going on right now. So now if we wait a little bit for this building to get finished by Vercel, we are going to see this particular project on our Vercel dashboard here. So by the end of this video, your website will be live and powered up with Firebase. So stick around. You're gonna learn how to do this the very easy way. So we are still going to recap on everything we have actually learned from this video. So now we got an error here saying no output directory name build found after the build completed. You can configure the output directory in your project settings. So now they said we need to build our project before we send it to Vercel. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is npm run build. So let's do that so that our React.js website is going to be ready for production. So now we've built our website. As you can see, now we have this distributing folder here. So now let us call the Vercel again. So npx Vercel. So you can see now that we are now uploading our folders to Vercel for them to do their thing. So they will upload all the files and folders and the assets in our project and upload it to their server, and they will build it for us, make it in production, and they're going to make it live, feasible online, so people can have access to it and search for it. So now we are like very close to it. So let us take a little break and see what they are doing for us behind the screen. So I hope you understand how we created how we link our firebaseConfig with our React.js. So what we do is we go to our source and we look for the firebase.js and we copy our firebaseConfig here. We copy this and we replace it with this. Let me take this one down. So I will replace it with this. Okay, so we replace it with this. So we're going to paste this here, and that's all for our Google Firebase integration. So now we also get the same error, no output directory name build found after the build completed. You can configure the output directory in your project settings, right? So that's the same error we got. So actually this is not something that we should do. So let us open this. Okay, so this is the project here. So they are going through some issues. So no output directory was found, so it results in an error. So we should not panic here. So the next thing we're going to do is to go back to we should use npm build. So okay, the command is npm run build. Actually we done that the other time, but let's do it again. Okay, so this is our project has been built. So the next thing we're going to do is to let me check. We have our gist here. Okay, so now that this is giving us, actually for some people, this is going to work perfectly by using this step we have taken in this video. And for some people, you might encounter this error and you might not be able to do it this way. So another very simple way we can do this is to use our GitHub repositories. Okay, so now let us go to our GitHub. So we go to this is our repository, right? So we go back to let me go back to my home page. Okay, this is my home page here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is click on my repository. So here my repository, I'm going to create a new repository. So I'm going to give it a name. Let me give it equal to dates up. So I will create my repository here. So now I will copy this and let me go back to my folder. So here I'm going to open this folder in my terminal. So I'll open this folder in my terminal here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to paste the code I copied from GitHub. So now I have initiate this. Let me check the status. Okay, so let's use the git add command. So this we add all our files to the GitHub repository. So now next thing we're going to do is we're going to commit the projects. So we're going to commit the projects. We're going to give it a very good message. So we added Firebase integration. Okay, so we're going to commit it. Okay, git commit. So now we've done this. So the next thing we're going to do is to push it to our main. So we're going to push to, let me use origin. If you're doing it for the first time, you use origin main. So now let's wait a little bit for this to push to our main, push to our main origin. So let's check on our terminal and see where we are. Okay, we've pushed this to our main origin. So let's refresh our GitHub accounts. Now this is our folder here. Okay, this is our folder here. So the next thing we need to do now is to go to our Vercel. So here in our Vercel, we're going to click on our projects and we're going to add new projects. So the next thing we're going to do is you can see this is the GitHub repository. So we're going to import it. So they're going to ask us for a name. So this is the name. So we don't need all this. So the next thing is to deploy. So now we are deploying it using the GitHub repository. If you need to try the first step that we've done earlier, like using the VS Code. But we are getting this error here. Bro, it happens because Vercel expects a build directory after running our npm run build, but it doesn't exist in our React projects. So we are going to fix it. So we are going to we run the build locally, but it is not working. We will try to generate the build folder inside our project, but it's not working. So that is why we tried our best to use our GitHub repository to upload to deploy our project to Vercel. So now we still get the same error. So now the next thing what we're going to do now is, because Vite use dist instead of builds. Okay, so now let's go back to our VS Code. We notice we have a dist folder here. So Vite use the dist instead of build. So the next thing is maybe that if this is the case for everyone, the next thing we're going to do is to change the output directory in Vercel to dist, because Vercel expects a build directory, but now Vite is providing us a dist directory. So let us find a way to change our Vercel. Let us find a way to change it to dist instead of build. Actually, I've not come across this kind of error when building my projects, but so it should be dist. So it's going to be dist. So we're going to change this to dist. So next thing now, once you change this to dist, now let's deploy using the dist instead of the build directory. So now let's click on deploy. Let's go to our VS Code and change this dist to build. Okay, so let's try that. So let's change this to build. So now let's run the npx Vercel one more time. So we are building it here and we are also deploying it here. So let's see if it's worked that way. So what we do here is actually boiler. Now we are able to build our project successfully by changing the build directory to dist on our Vercel. Hope you can see how I did that. So let's continue to dashboard. Our project is now live. We have successfully built our project, our React.js. So now we can search it with this name, using this name. Okay, this is the domain name that they assigned to us. So if we click on this domain name, trust me, your website is going to be live online. Our website is now live online. Hooray. So now let us search for this keyword online and see if we are going to pop up. So now it could do dates up Vercel. So let's see. So actually the one I launched, which is the Dating Insight app, is the one coming up. So with time, with different searching, all of the stuff, this one is also going to be online. It's going to be the first to show up on this Google page here. So now we have successfully deployed our websites from Vercel. So now let us check our VS Code if it works that way. As you can see, it also worked when we change this dist folder to build folder. It works for us, and now we have this here. Perfect. So now if we can run Vercel prod, that is Vercel production. So sorry, we're going to use npx to call the Vercel production. So now the main issue now is to change this dist to a build directory. Then we are good to go. So now we are building it here. So let us check our Vercel. Let us check our Vercel. Let's see if our other projects are successful. So let's go to our, okay, as you can see, this is the first one we are doing currently, and this is the one we built from GitHub. This one is successful. Why this one is also successful? But currently, this one here is currently building. Okay, it's currently building, and voila, it is also live. So let me refresh it so you will see that it's live also. So we have successfully built these two. We have successfully built this website too on Vercel. Okay, so as you can see it here, it has been moved to production. How did you do it? We changed this directory to build directory, and it's worked perfectly for us. So if you are experiencing this kind of issues, you need to change the directory from dist to build. Then you call the npx Vercel. And once it's successful, you call npx Vercel production. Then Vercel is going to deploy your folder and your assets into production. So this is what we've learned in today's tutorial, and I'm glad this worked perfectly for us, and I'm glad everyone is also learning. So try and go through the video to see how you're going to install your React.js on Vercel for free. So this website is going to be free for life, and it's going to be eternally free. So Vercel is not charging us for anything. The only thing they will charge us for is if we want to use our own custom domain. If we don't want to use their own Vercel.app subdomain. So if you want to use our own ecologumroadhere.com or .app, so they're going to charge us for that, and it is around $11. So shout out to Vercel. Vercel is a very nice and the best platform to host your React.js website, and also they also work in line with Google Firebase. So it is very easy to create mobile application websites using the Node.js. You know what I'm saying. So using the Node.js package manager, using the React.js ecosystem. So it is very easy with the help of Vercel, Netlify, Heroku. Shout out to every platform that allows developers to host their websites for free, because it is a very pain in the ass if you create the website and if you are not able to show it to people or launch it online so people can have access to it. But Vercel came in and they solved this problem for us developers. We really appreciate that. So this will be the end of the video. If you are getting error using the first method, you should try and use the GitHub repository tree method. But the simplest one is the VS Code method. But you're going to get some errors, and the errors is going to be solved by changing your dist folder to the build folder. So then you try again, and everything is going to work fine. So I'm going to drop the link to get this website folder on the description section below. So now you're going to go to your Gumroad account and download the content once you get access to it. So once you download it and you start working on it immediately. Thank you guys. I love you all.